If you're in traffic, please drive safely. If you took the day off after the Super Bowl, I don't blame you at all. I get it. I wanted to call Matt Nehingan, our program director, and say, I can't do it this morning. I laid Shasky last night in complete darkness before I went to bed for about 30 minutes. Opened the laptop, said, all right, let me try to rewatch it for the show. I got through one possession. I said, nope, can't do it. Cannot do it. And the Legion Stadium's right outside of my hotel room. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, man. I was getting a little emotional in that bedroom. Thinking of the Niner fans saying, thinking of the Niner Knicks, thinking of Worldwide Hef, thinking of, all these young Niner fans that we have. Your family, my family, everybody that had their Niner gear on. Watch parties galore in the city. And thought, man, finally it's going to happen. The parade's going to be on Thursday. We've been waiting for this for so long. Snow angels, confetti, all of it. And just like that, your heart got ripped out again. Our hearts got ripped out again. And I don't know how we're going to get through this one. I honestly don't know what we're going to... I'm not watching this game back for a very long time. I'm going to rely on all you guys in the plays, my play sheet, what Baldy's going to bring to the table tomorrow, because I can't do it. That was gut-wrenching. And sitting in that stadium, watching it in real time.
Watching it slowly happen.
It took years off my life, man. I was a wreck. I was not right. We're not right. So I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. We're trying to be pros. We're going to be pros and do it. But we are from this city. We're the fabric, which makes us different than most radio shows in this market. We wear it. We know what it's like to be a Niner fan. We know what it's like to live through the good times and the bad times. We know what the pain feels like. And we're expressing it to you today. It's painful. There's no other way to say it. You lose a Super Bowl that really you should have won because you dominated for the most part, Shasky. You dominated. And now we're sitting here with big L's on our foreheads?
So many should have plays. I mean, so many.
So many.
Richie James fumbled on how many of those punt returns?
Oh, he was terrible.
Did.
He was terrible on
okay.
And now he has a Super Bowl ring. Richie James Jr.
And Jerick McKinnon, too.
Yeah.
And then you get an interception from Mahomes when he's been flawless for how many weeks in a row? I mean, you had opportunities in this game. You just totally threw up on yourself. And the woulda-coulda just, how about the fumble where it goes right into Watson's hands?
Yep.
How many times does that happen?
Yep.
It's just, you miss an extra kick.
Extra point, yeah.
Or, yeah, I call it extra kick, whatever.
Yeah.
You turn the ball over on the first possession of the game. On a McCaffrey of all guys puts it on the floor. You have multiple pre-snap infractions. You lose Dre Greenlaw. You fumble again on a punt return. Or Luter, it hits his ankle or his heel or whatever the hell, and then McLeod can't.
Somebody's got to rail poison. Somebody yell poison. Get away.
You kick field goal after field goal after field goal when you know you need a touchdown. You know you do. Another 2-minute clock situation before half. Another opportunity for Travis Kelce to get triple teamed and let someone else beat you, and he's the guy getting the ball down the stretch in that final drive. How does he get that open on a crosser? Because they were in no man's land. Like, that's a tough field goal.
Right.
Bucker probably kicks it, but they're in no man's land. That was a huge play. And Tig Brown, God bless his soul for making that tackle.
The tackle of his life. I thought it was scoring.
Rookie was one of the best players on the field for the Niners. Deebo Samuel, who's been amazing for this team, just in and out of the lineup. Ayuk can't get much separation, and that's his calling card. Miscommunication on the double move. George Kittle, did he play? I mean, George Kittle, might as well put a 60s number on him because all he does is line up as a tackle.
I had to laugh because it's so true.
I mean, it was driving me insane.
So true.
And then, Brock Purdy, he played good, but to
you need to be great.
Yeah,
you got to be great.
What did Steve Young say to everybody? You all saw the same video I saw.
Yeah.
You have to snatch it from someone's bloody hands.
Yep.
And I think about Philadelphia because Philadelphia's in my mentions, but in particular because when I think of Doug Peterson and that team winning that Super Bowl against Brady,
they took it.
They were so hyper aggressive, and when they did the Philly special, obviously that's the thing that sticks out. But they were hyper aggressive the whole game, and then their foot on the gas. And yes, the double pass was amazing from Jawan Jennings. But the incongruent aggression from Kyle Shanahan is the hallmark of all of these losses, all of these 10-point losses. I'm aggressive here, but not there. I'm aggressive in this moment, but not in this moment. And it's like all of these missed opportunities, I truly feel we made a deal with the devil. And for a lot of the older fans, you got an opportunity to experience 5 Super Bowls. And for all of us younger fans, and I didn't get to see it in my adult life, we're not going to get to see it. We're going to be the bridesmaid forever. Something's happened. We cursed. I don't know what it is. We talked like champions all week, and I said to everybody, Jed, I get it. You want to come out. You want to stunt. Just be quiet until the job is completed. Because now we look so dumb because we're cashing checks, and I get it. It's an accomplishment to make it this far, but you've got to run through the ticker taper to win the race.
But Jed, that him talking on a Monday afternoon had no impact whatsoever yesterday.
But these are the karmatic things I think of.
But no, the Chiefs had all the bad karma this week. They had all the bad karma. Patrick Mahomes Sr., the whole Jackson Mahomes situation. You had a lot going on Kansas City sideline.
But they have Superman.
But exactly, they do have Superman. But they all that stuff, once you kick the ball off, all that stuff goes out of the window.
And they have Professor X.
It goes out of the window.
They have Andy
But even
Reid.
Professor X, Steve Wilkes was in his bag yesterday. Steve Wilkes outcoached Andy Reid for most of that football game.
Well, most doesn't count.
It doesn't count, but he did outcoach him for most of that football game.
I'm with you.
So I'm giving Steve Wilkes his credit.
Steve Wilkes was excellent. Steve Wilkes was excellent.
It hit me when I woke up this morning. I said, man, I think about this journey because we're gonna, the Warriors are going on, and Coach Kerr and a lot of coach staff are going over to Serbia for Decky's funeral, and the Warriors are gonna play the Utah Jazz later on today. And, when you lose these playoff series, you think, boy, you gotta sit all season. You gotta go through it. I think about what we were doing at the Hilton Hotel in late July for the opening of training camp. Felt like it was 2 weeks ago, right? But we go on this long, arduous journey where we're sitting here watching game after game after game. And you go through the playoffs, and you get home field, and you go through all the trades, and getting Gregory, and bringing in Chase Young, and you're like, oh, my God, you're averaging 29 points a game, and you got 2 guys in the top 4 of the MVP voting. And I was just thinking, we have to somehow, some way, cleanse ourselves from this Super Bowl loss, which may never, ever happen. Go through the draft again. Go through all-season needs. Go through OTAs. Go through mini camp. Go through another training camp. Overreact about preseason. Go through the regular season again, knowing that the regular season doesn't mean anything for us anymore. If we don't win the whole damn thing, everything else is secondary. Everything else is irrelevant. And we have to go through this thing again, hoping just to get back to the big game. And I was thinking, I don't know if I had the energy for that.
Well,
I don't know how I'm going to pick myself up off the mat once again.
That's why this feels like the NFC Championship game lost to the Seattle Seahawks. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No, I'm done. I'm just up here rambling,
Did that not feel like the end of the era coming out of that loss the way they did, with Bowman going down the way he did, losing Dre Greenlaw the way they did?
Listen,
it felt symbolic of a bigger. It wasn't just losing the Super Bowl. To me, it felt like, I'm not sure this course is going to get it done.
They'll be back. But now, here's the deal, Shasky.
It's so much harder.
They'll be good. Not only is it hard, but for the most part, they were able to remain healthy. Purdy coming off a torn UCL, didn't have really many setbacks. He had a concussion problem. That was that. McCaffrey was healthy. He had a couple nicks, bruises.
He's a gladiator.
He's a gladiator.
But how many years
can you count on him?
That's what I'm saying.
Can you count on him to be healthy next season? Debo, he missed 3 games, relatively healthy. You going to get that next season?
Well, in the biggest game, he got knocked around in this game.
George Kittle is going to be able to stay healthy.
George Kittle, there's a conversation about
Trent Williams, is he going to be able to stay healthy for the entire season? So you got to go through this again. I just kept thinking about that. Like, gosh, we got to go through this all over again just to try to be back in this spot next year in February in New Orleans.
What I don't want to hear is, George Kittle should not be mentioned with Kelsey and Gronk in terms of, when the game was on the line and the season was on the line, who did Brady throw to?
Gronkowski.
And Gronk was an inline blocker. But when it was money time, what did they do? They split him out and they threw him the ball, and the whole stadium knew it was going to him.
Yep.
Okay? Kelsey, what did we say? Where's 87? Where's 87? Where's 87? And the Niners are pointing and moving as the ball's being snapped. They don't even know who's guarding 87. What's our guy doing? He's either on the sideline or he's blocking. One thing I don't ever want to hear again is about George Kittle and how great he is during the regular season, because in this game, they needed him to make a play. And they went stretches where it felt like he wasn't even running routes.
Dude, 2 catches, 4 yards. First team All-Pro tight end. But don't ever try to tell me he's the best tight end in the game. As long as Travis Kelce is wearing number 87 for the Kansas City Chiefs, it all starts with Travis Kelce at the tight end spot. Everybody else is playing for second place.
Well, this is...
And hey, you know what? Sam Laporta may have already leapfrogged him.
Well, this is
because the way Detroit uses Sam Laporta, boy, I would love to use Kittle like that.
Good to great, right? We were talking about that from Purdy to Mahomes.
Yep.
Like, there's a difference. Like, there's levels.
Yep.
And it's not knocking. He's really, really good. But there's an element of they like to talk and they like to front run, but when things are going down, where are you? Where are you? This is the biggest game of the year. Nothing's going right. Where was Kittle? Where was he?
On the milk carton.
Where was Ayuk?
Shellacked, shackled, in handcuffs. Because L'Jarius Sneed and McDuffie and them were all over him. Not running hard on the double move. Miscommunication with Brock Purdy, which could have been for a big touchdown. It just
Two of the biggest plays in this game on offense were from Ray McCloud and Jawan Jennings, for Christ's sake.
I know.
Jawan Jennings made a couple of big plays.
Ray McCloud with a great catch on the crosser as Ayuk went deep to open it up. He got blasted and held on to it. He held on to it, though. He did. Jawan Jennings, that guy.
I'm telling you.
If there's anybody that eats for free in the Bay after that game, Jawan Jennings. He set such a physical tone on that touchdown drive to make it 10-0. He's the one why L'Jarius Sneed and McDuffie are all getting frustrated because he was run blocking his ass off, run blocking these DBs into the sideline. Jawan Jennings could play on my football team and be a part of my 53-man roster for here on out. I have no problem with Jawan Jennings. He's earned his keep. He's made big-time plays for this team. By the way, we've got a couple super chats real quick, Shasky. Bunob spent $5. When you're playing to be a good team with a great player, you have to match their great play. Offensive defense. What do you guys need? Foot on your neck, killer instinct. Then we got another one from 300 IQ Gaming, spending $10. How can anyone sit here and tell me Shanahan is the guy? There was no excuses this year. Everyone was healthy. What more do we need? Shanahan is not that guy. We need a change, and he needs to go.
I don't know.
Well, I don't agree with your last it's we don't need a change, and he doesn't need to go. But something about his game plans and something about his coaching needs some adjusting, Shasky. He has to adjust and evolve. He got schooled again by Spags and Andy Reid. Father Time, Napa, get on here, man. Father Time, what's up?
What do you say? Monday morning hangover ruined all the great food that we made yesterday. I watched the game with a couple old timers, one of whom is probably not long for the world, super Niners fan. So I feel bad for the old guys who haven't seen it in a long, long time. Let me hit you with some real, and I want your response to this, if you don't mind. Grades: Ayuk, B-, C. I'm talking about the best players on the team. Samuel, C. Purdy, C. Trent Williams got his ass kicked. I saw him for the first time in forever. He got thrown on his backside. Yeah. This is allegedly the greatest tackle of all time. Now, maybe he's at the end, but that's your boy. That's the guy that can't happen. Bosa, maybe a B. Kittle, incomplete. No, he's a C. Greenlaw, he was killing. He was an A+, and man, what a difference it would have made. But, he gets an incomplete. Fred Warner, a B. So your best players, tell me if I'm wrong. Those are the best players on your roster. Nobody played with an A. Nobody. And you can't win that way when you're facing, now the two-time champions. I just think that there's one thing to really point out that's patently obvious. If you go back and look at the history of Super Bowl winning coaches, they all have, not all, but most of them have one thing in common: charisma. You tell me about Kyle's charisma. Bottom line is Kyle can't close. If you count the Detroit game, which, again, love the Niners, but let's all face it, got a little lucky in that one. That would have been another loss in the championship game. Yeah. You know what they say, guys? Coffee is for closers. So are championships. They're for closers. Close the game.
Well, can I ask a question? Does Andy Reid have charisma? I mean, in a commercial he does, but when I see him on the sideline, I don't
he's
see
stoic. Yeah, he's just
I don't
chilling.
see a charismatic guy.
Right. I don't think
Belichick charismatic while coaching.
That doesn't matter.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
What I will say is they're very singular in how they call plays. And I think that when I look at Mahomes and Andy Reid, they never lose their minds. Like Kelsey's losing his mind on the sideline, and Andy Reid's just chilling. You know what I mean? Belichick, everyone's going crazy, goal timeout. He's chilling. I saw Kyle Shanahan throw a Microsoft tablet
in
yesterday.
overtime. Yeah, he threw the tablet. Threw it on the sideline. He went crazy at the defense. Well, you should be going crazy at the offense because they didn't bring it. They did not bring it. Let's go to...
and the Bosa thing, I thought Bosa played a B-plus game, but to me, when you're placing an A-plus quarterback, he turns what would have been an A game into a B-plus because he evaded so many negative plays. Mahomes, his pocket awareness is the greatest pocket awareness of all time. His ability to escape, create time, move with his feet, using his arms, using his legs. You're watching the greatest quarterback of all time in real time, Niner fans. We talk about Purdy reminds me of
but you know what?
Montana. No, that is Montana.
They will play well enough to win that football game.
No doubt.
To beat Mahomes.
But
to beat Mahomes.
When it's all said and done, what did he do?
Well, but you know what? You gave them opportunities to do that, which we said you could. No.
That's what
you couldn't do it because your offense didn't do anything.
How many
This
games?
is solely on the offense of Kyle Shanahan. When you don't convert long drives into touchdowns and you settle for 3 and you don't. Trent Williams. I'm glad he brought up Trent Williams because I'm watching the Baldy break down between the break. Trent Williams, we want to call him the greatest left tackle of football. I don't know about that. And did Anthony Munoz play left or right tackle? Because Anthony Munoz is 1-1, right?
Orlando Pace.
I don't know if he's better than Orlando Pace. Trent Williams got his ass kicked yesterday. He got destroyed. Kansas City's defensive front punked the Niners' offensive line. Punked them, all right? Punked them.
Karlaftis and what's the other 54?
Trent Williams was awful yesterday.
Amazing.
Trent Williams was bad in the biggest game of his career. Gets a holding and a false start on one possession, and he never quite recovered.
And you're right.
Never quite recovered from that. So the premium players that we talked about on Friday needed to make cold jacket plays.
Who played?
They didn't make them.
Who played A plus or who played A?
I don't know. All right, Jawan Jennings. That's a good one,
wow.
Lubman. Jawan Jennings.
But if I would have told Niner fans, Jawan Jennings will be the only guy to play an A game.
Maybe Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah, no, Kyle was excellent. I thought Kyle Juszczyk was excellent.
I mean,
but that's not going to get it done, Bonta.
It's not going to get it done. Not going to get it done. Not enough. Not enough against that football team. Third quarter, you come out and just blow all the momentum you built. All the momentum. It's just unbelievable. This is sickening, man. This is really, really painful, folks. BPA, you're on the roast. BPA, what's happening? It is painful, dude. I can't sugarcoat it this morning, Lubman. I can't. What the hell you want me to say today? Everything is great. We had a great season. And anybody wants me to say, hey, you know what? We had a great season. We made it to the Super Bowl. We're relevant again. Blah, 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 blah. The hell with that. I'm tired of finishing in second. I'm tired of losing like this, man, and going to these damn football games. I got to stop going to games. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to start watching these things at home.
The other guy that we haven't even talked about, I thought Rasheed Rice in the second half started cooking in the middle of the field.
He's a rookie. He's only going to get better.
I mean, they used him on those over and over and across
City's just top to bottom better than us. BPA, what's happening?
I'm trying to be solution-oriented. It's, the self-loathing does not scale, that's for sure. But, I think, look, all the Kyle and John blind spots, right, that quite frankly a lot of us could see, like Colton McKivitz, the entire right side of the offensive line, Jake Moody, the secondary, all the places where they shortchanged or took shortcuts. It was exposed for all to see, and yet they still should have won the game. I don't want to hear about Mahomes. They should have won the game. They left 19.
Oh, he's gone?
Well, Mahomes had basically 400 yards of offense by himself.
Yeah. But you know what, though? That came late. But, for the most part.
But that's what the greats do.
No, that's what the greats do. But that's what the greats do when you leave them in the ball game.
Yeah, that's the thing.
This, to me, when it all comes down to great teams, like the Warriors championship teams, the Giants championship teams, all these teams, it's about what you do. I always felt like this season, it's not about the other team. It's about the Niners. You're the better roster. You got premium players. It's about what you do out there. How do you play?
Well,
because if you play to your full capabilities and your full potential, you're going to win more times than not. What the Niners did yesterday, fumbling on a first possession, muffing a punt, having an extra point block, being 3-12 on third down, not burning the timeout before second down on the Chiefs' last possession in the first half to where you don't get the ball back for basically an hour in real time. You're on one little rinky-dink play to Chris McCaffrey with 2 timeouts, and you don't even stretch the field. It's the Super Bowl. Can we throw a deep shot? What are we doing here? Can we throw a deep shot? Something. Give me something. It's about what you do. And what the Niners did was shot themselves in the foot over and over again. And at some point, it's like, oh, Mahomes is like, oh, man, I'm still in this game. Oh, boys, all we need is one play. One play, and we're going to bring this home. They knew when they got that ball in overtime after the Niners settled for 3, after Colt McKivitz whiffed on the block to Chris Jones. Chris Jones, folks, if there's one guy not to block, it definitely ain't Chris Jones. Ayuk's running the back of the end zone wide open. And you knew when Mahomes got that ball back, damn, we're about to lose the Super Bowl like this. We knew it. Kansas City was so calm and collected on the game-winning touchdown drive. The clock is running. They didn't panic whatsoever. They got in the huddle. They called their play. Boom, Hartman in a flat. Game over. We're walking out the stadium saying, again, ripped our hearts out. This is on the Niners and that offense in Shanahan. That's it. It's about what they did and what they didn't do. And they didn't show up in the biggest game of the season. Biggest game of the season. And again, this is karma for not playing a full quarter, full game against Detroit, not playing a full game against Green Bay. Came back to bite you in the butt. This is sickening, man. Shanahan again.
The worst part about it is, I'm telling you, we've become the Cincinnati Bengals to his resume of Joe Montana. Like, that's what we are. We've lost now twice to this guy. We've got a Utah Jazz feel to ourselves.
Jim Kelly to the Dallas Cowboys, or Dallas Cowboys to the Buffalo Bills. We are this era's Buffalo Bills.
It sucks. And the part that really pisses me off is that we do a lot of talking. You know, our team does front run at times.
And we do it as a fan base, but you know what? We back it up.
But when you don't show up with the game on the line,
joke's on us.
Well, it's hard to swallow. And it's hard to defend Shanahan this morning.
It's hard to defend a lot of guys. My guy, Debo, 11 targets, 3 catches. 11 targets, 3 catches.
You can't high point the ball. I don't know why we're throwing it with a guy's draped all over him. And Purdy missed him in the end zone on the play where he was wide open. They did end up scoring later.
Yeah, but he did miss him. Purdy.
He missed him. Purdy missed. Purdy was off a little yesterday. It's okay to say it.
Yeah, no, he was off.
He was under duress.
And he's going to be our quarterback next year. But let me tell you, Purdy better put up MVP numbers next year if he wants to get a contract for the Niners. I'm telling you.